Today I'm going to teach you a really powerful technique in how to work with negative thoughts, and it's called the double standard technique. Think of what a double standard is. It's when you apply one thing to one situation, but not really to another situation. Here's an example of how it works. So I was talking to a few friends the other day, and one of them shared with me that they don't feel like they were kind of meant for their job. And I said, okay, what's going on? And they said, well, I'm bad at this, I'm bad at that, I caused trouble here, I broke a rule here, I was called in by my supervisor. A lot of things that really does happen to a lot of people at many jobs. They think that they're not good enough. So I sat there and I continued to listen and I just kept my mouth shut. I had a lot of thoughts in my head, but really I wanted to hear out this person and figure out what they were struggling with. They gave me every idea or negative thought that was going in their head. They said, I'm not good at this. I don't deserve a degree. I don't even know why I graduated. I don't even know why I chose this position. I have no idea why they hired me. And this person was really trying to convince me that they were not good for the job. And they almost convinced me. I mean, their arguments sounded pretty legit, but were they sound? Were they truthful? Once he was done, I asked him a very serious question. And this is when the double standard technique kicks in. I asked him, hey, what if I shared the same information to you, but about me? They looked at me like, what are you talking about, dude? You don't experience this. You're good at what you do. I said, no. What if it's the case that I come to you and, I'll say it just like you. I don't think I'm a good therapist. I think my clients are better off without me. I don't even know why I got hired. I don't deserve any raises. I don't deserve my license. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve that. I continued and I shared my thoughts. I shared my feelings. I was really trying to berate myself, not only to make a point, but I was trying to highlight something very important, which is the double standard that we often practice, but not in the benefit of ourselves. And this is what I asked him. I said, if that's the case with me, what would you tell me? Would you agree with me that I'm just a misfit where I work? I just can't do it. I don't fit in. I shouldn't fit in. I shouldn't have it. Or would you tell me what I think about you? And that's when I shared with him what I really think about how he is at his job, which is pretty much the opposite of what he's saying. I wanted to validate what he said, but at the same time, he was stuck and he asked me, what do you do to get out of these negative funks, these negative thoughts? What do you do to get out? Now, that's when I was trying to make my point. I then said, what would you tell a guy like me who's struggling with all of this? What would you say? And he said, you're great at what you do. I wouldn't see why you would think about that in the first place. Where do those thoughts even come from? That makes no sense to me. Where do you come up with that? So I took his words and repeated it right back to him. That makes no sense to me. Where did you come up with that about you in your very own job? Because I certainly don't see the way you see it, just like how you don't see it how I see it. He paused for a little bit, said, okay, I see where you're going with this. And I shared with him, this is the double standard. And this is also a technique that you can use whenever you want, whenever you feel down. I urge you to think about that one person that you care about and think about if they were to question themselves that way. What would you say to them? And if we have that ability to share with them what we think about them in such a positive light, it might be a more factual light, a more trustworthy light. If we have the ability to share that with other people we care about, and it's coming from ourselves, and we want to attempt to take care of ourselves and say, I care about me too, how can we then respond to those thoughts that appear in our head? It doesn't mean we're making it up. They're there. But how can we respond in an effective and helpful way? And that's by practicing a double standard. If I can say this for my good friend over here that I love and care about, why can't I do that for me? Our minds might say well, it's not true. I'm being, biased. I'm being this. But are we? Are we really? Works for them, but not for me. Switch it up a bit. It works for them. I can also try to make it work for me. This is the double standard technique. Trust me when I say this. It's going to take some practice. Like everything you're going to hear on this channel, practice makes progress. Forget about perfection. really focus on what are those negative thoughts you have. And you can untwist them in a way where you use this double standard. This is a fantastic technique. I hope it's been helpful for you. I really care about this technique. It's really powerful. It's changed a lot of lives. Again, I hope this video was helpful. Feel free to subscribe, share it with a friend. Remind yourself you have the ability to do this. You have the ability to practice it. We're not going to be great at it at first, and that's okay. Take your time, work on progress, not perfection, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.